Chassidic Parashat Vayishlach in the company of angels, Chassidic insights into Parashat Vayishlach as we embark on another week of reflection within the sacred embrace of our tradition. We find ourselves immersed in a rich tapestry of narratives that have been lovingly transmitted through generations. Each story we uncover serves as a vessel, carrying with it profound wisdom and moral teachings that resonate deeply within the hearts and minds of those who seek to navigate the complexities of life. Among the many narratives that grace our sacred texts, Parashat Vayishlach stands out as a particularly poignant tale, illuminating the intricate relationship between יקע-פעננער and the celestial beings that accompany him on his journey. This week, as we gather in spirit and community, we also come together to celebrate the joyous unions of two Chassidim, Naphtali Hertz Flintenstein and Naphtali Schneebolg, on the auspicious date of the 14th of Kislev 5759. They embarked upon the sacred journey of marriage, a union that holds profound significance within our tradition. May their new lives be suffused with simcha, joy, and may they merit to establish a Beis Naaman B'Yisrael, a faithful home within the fold of the Jewish people that reflects the values of love, respect, and compassion that we hold dear. As we delve into the depths of Parashat Vayishlach, we are greeted with a scene that is both dramatic and deeply spiritual, and Yaakov dispatched angels' messengers ahead of him to meet his brother Esav in the fields of Edom in the land of Seir. Rashi, our revered commentator, offers a simple yet profound insight. Angels, they were real angels. This declaration invites us to explore the nature of Yaakov's relationship with these divine messengers, revealing an intricate interplay between the earthly and the celestial realms. It encourages us to consider the significance of angels in Yaakov's life, transcending the notion of passive observers, and positioning them as active participants in the unfolding drama of his existence. Yaakov's engagement with angels is not merely a singular event. It represents a second significant encounter with the divine messengers, suggesting a level of spiritual maturity that allows him to engage with the celestial realm in ways that most cannot. This relationship signifies more than a fleeting interaction. It symbolizes a continuous connection that profoundly informs his actions, decisions, and his very identity. The presence of angels in Yaakov's life indicates a deep intertwining of his existence with the divine, reflecting not only his spiritual stature, but also the unique closeness he shares with Hashem. The regularity of these interactions underscores the extraordinary nature of the Avos and Imahos who consistently found themselves in the company of divine beings. Their experiences serve as timeless lessons, guiding us in our own spiritual journeys and interactions with the world around us. The absence of angelic encounters following the demise of the 12 tribes marks a significant shift in the spiritual landscape of our people. It serves as a poignant reminder that the Avos and Imahos were not merely historical figures, but the very embodiment of the values and teachings that would shape the Jewish nation, laying the groundwork for generations to come. In this context, the Maharal of Prague, who was my 22nd great-grandfather in his profound commentary Gur Aryeh, sheds light on the notion of the Avos as extraordinary individuals whose actions were motivated by a singular purpose: the welfare of Klal Yisrael, the principle of Ma'asa Avos Simon al-Banim. The deeds of the fathers serve as a guiding beacon for their descendants, resonates deeply within the narrative of Vayishlach. Every action taken by the patriarchs was not merely personal. It was imbued with a sense of collective responsibility, laying the groundwork for the Jewish nation and reflecting the core values of our faith. Yaakov's meticulous preparations for his impending confrontation with Esav serve as a prime example of this principle. As he readied himself for a momentous encounter, one fraught with the potential for conflict and strife, he engaged in a threefold strategy. He prepared gifts, assembled an army, and fervently prayed to Hashem for salvation. Each of these actions is laden with meaning and significance. The gifts reflect a desire for reconciliation, a tangible gesture of goodwill that seeks to bridge the chasm between brothers. The military readiness embodies a commitment to self-defense, a recognition that while one must seek peace, one must also be prepared to protect oneself and one's loved ones. The prayers encapsulate a deep reliance on divine intervention, illustrating the importance of faith in our lives as we navigate uncertainty. This multifaceted approach to conflict resolution teaches us that even in the face of daunting challenges, we are called to act with wisdom, compassion, and unwavering faith. The lessons of Vayishlach extend the personal narrative of Yaakov. They resonate throughout the annals of Jewish history. The Midrash recounts the story of Rabbi Yehuda the Prince, a pivotal figure in our tradition who, in approximately 192 CE, sought to influence the Roman Emperor's stance toward the Jewish populace residing in the Holy Land. In preparing for this crucial meeting, he drew from the very text of Parashat Vayishlach, extracting wisdom from its pages to navigate the complexities of diplomacy. This historical precedent highlights a recurring theme in Jewish survival: the art of peaceful negotiation rooted in the examples set forth by our illustrious ancestors. Diplomacy, rather than aggression, has been a hallmark of Jewish resilience throughout the ages, allowing our people to endure and thrive even amidst adversity. The Maharal further elaborates on the foundational role of the Avos and Imahos in the cosmic order. He posits that the verdict of creation revolved around their essence, emphasizing that Hashem had the Avos in mind before the world came into being. This profound insight reinforces the idea that the angels, designated as messengers, were placed in the world to assist in the endeavors of the world's caretakers. Their very name, Malakim, signifies their role as attendants and facilitators of divine will. Thus, it is only fitting that the angels found themselves in the company of the Avos and Imahos, executing the divine purpose as guided by these holy figures. In contrast to Yaakov and the Avos, we encounter Moshe Rabbeinu, the quintessential prophet, who, despite his unparalleled spiritual stature, did not belong to the foundational trio of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. A remarkable midrash in Parshas Yizro illustrates this distinction. When Moshe ascended to Mount Sinai to receive the Torah, the angels, unable to recognize him as one of the Avos, attempted to bar his entry. Hashem, in his infinite wisdom, resolved this dilemma by transforming Moshe's visage to resemble that of Avraham Avinu, thus enabling him to gain the acceptance of the angels. This episode underscores a profound truth. The unique status of the Avos rendered them worthy of having angels at their disposal. Their actions and intentions were so aligned with divine will that they commanded a direct connection to the celestial realm, an honor not extended while Yaakov sent angels, a comprehensive exploration of intentions and symbolism in the rich tapestry of Jewish tradition. The narrative surrounding Yaakov and Esav unfolds as a profound tale of conflict, familial ties, and intricate quest for reconciliation. This story is not merely a historical account, but serves as a symbolic representation of the complexities of human relationships and the spiritual dimensions that underpin them. When Yaakov, the patriarch whose very name connotes struggle and transformation, decided to send angels to his estranged brother Esav, his actions were not simply a gesture of goodwill. Rather, they were laden with profound intentions and symbolic significance, a deliberate act imbued with layers of meaning that extend far beyond the surface of the text. As elucidated by the Parz Yosef, quoting the esteemed Rabbeinu Yaakov Al-Ghazi, the act of dispatching these celestial beings was a strategic maneuver grounded in the desire for peace, understanding, and reconciliation. The pursuit of shalom, a divine imperative at the heart of Yaakov's intentions, lies the foundational Jewish principle of shalom, or peace. The concept of peace is not merely the absence of conflict. It embodies the harmonious coexistence of disparate elements, a state of wholeness that reflects divine intention. The Jerusalem Talmud provides a compelling insight in the nature of angels, describing them as composed of two opposing elements, fire and water. This duality is emblematic of the essence of harmony, for it illustrates the possibility of coexistence between seemingly conflicting forces. In the act of sending angels to Esav, Yaakov was not merely reaching out to his brother to smooth over past grievances. He was symbolically extending a hand of peace, a gesture that communicated his sincere desire to mend the fractured relationship. The final line of the Kaddish prayer resonates deeply with this theme of peace. proclaiming, "He who makes peace in the heavens, may he also make peace for us and all Israel." This assertion underscores the celestial nature of angels as harbingers of peace. By sending angels, Yaakov was articulating a powerful message to Esav. His aspiration was not to dominate or vanquish, but to foster reconciliation and harmony between them. In this light, the angels served as a divine testament to Yaakov's sincere intention to restore familial bonds, reinforcing the notion that peace is a divine imperative, one that transcends individual desires and ambitions. The significance of birthright and divine order, an inner struggle. Yaakov's actions were also deeply intertwined with the complex dynamics of birthright and the theological implications of his conception. Esav, who perceived himself as the firstborn, was ultimately overshadowed by Yaakov, who understood that he was conceived first, despite being born second. This intricate understanding of birthright is not merely a familial dispute. It holds profound implications for the spiritual legacy of the Jewish people. The teachings of Rashi illuminate this dynamic, likening it to two stones placed within a narrow cylinder, where the first stone introduced is the last to emerge. This metaphor serves as a poignant reminder of the divine order and the inherent supremacy of the spiritual over the physical. In sending angels, Yaakov was subtly asserting his rightful place as the true firstborn, emphasizing that even though Esav was born first, he was not the inheritor of the spiritual legacy bestowed upon them. The angels, created before humanity, symbolize the divine order and the elevation of the righteous. They are subservient to the tzaddikim, the righteous individuals whose lives embody a higher purpose. By dispatching angels to Esav, Yaakov was conveying the profound truth that he, despite earthly status, held a spiritual superiority that transcended Av's claim to the birthright. This assertion speaks volumes about the nature of leadership and the qualities that define true worthiness. It is not merely birth that confers greatness, but the actions and virtues that one embodies. The creation of angels through mitzvos, a testament to righteousness. The inquiry into whether the angels that Yaakov sent were indeed real angels is met with a fascinating answer in the Pards Yosef. Yaakov's instruction to his messengers to relate to Esav that he had lived with Lavan and tarried there until now bears significant implications. The word garti, meaning I lived, is imbued with numerical value, equating to 613, the total number of mitzvos in the Torah. This numerical equivalence is not a mere coincidence. It serves as a profound testament to Yaakov's character and resilience in the face of adversity. Despite enduring the trials and tribulations of living with the wicked Lavan, a man whose very name evokes treachery and deceit, Yaakov adhered to all 613 mitzvos of the Torah. Each mitzvah performed serves as a spark, creating an angelic intercessor that bears witness to the individual's commitment to righteousness. Thus, Yaakov, having successfully maintained his piety amidst the challenges of his circumstances, had in essence created an army of angels. These celestial beings, representing the fruits of his righteous endeavors, were the very angels he dispatched to Esav, further underscoring the notion that they were indeed real, tangible manifestations of his spiritual journey. This concept of creating angels through mitzvos illuminates a critical aspect of Jewish thought. The idea that our actions have the power to transcend the physical realm and create lasting spiritual impressions. Each act of kindness, every moment of integrity, and every commitment to righteousness contributes to the divine tapestry of existence. Yaakov's unwavering dedication to the mitzvos, especially during his time with Lavan, serves as an inspiration for all generations, reminding us that even in the most challenging circumstances, we possess the capacity to elevate ourselves and create lasting change. The symbolism of angels, messengers of divine will, it is also essential to explore the broader symbolism of angels within the Jewish tradition. Angels, in their essence, are messengers of divine will, intermediaries between the human realm and the celestial sphere. Their presence often signifies the unfolding of divine providence and the realization of a higher purpose. By sending angels, Yaakov was not only reaching out to Esav, but also aligning himself with the divine will, seeking to create a pathway for reconciliation that would resonate throughout the generations. The act of sending angels, therefore, can be seen as a profound acknowledgement of the interconnectedness of all beings and the divine orchestration that governs our lives. Yaakov's intention to reconcile with Esav reflects a deep understanding of the unity that underlies creation, emphasizing that even in the face of conflict there lies an opportunity for healing and growth. This principle is particularly relevant in today's world where divisions often seem insurmountable. Yaakov's example serves as a guiding light, encouraging us to strive for peace and understanding in our own relationships and communities. Conclusion: a timeless legacy of reconciliation and spirituality. In essence, Yaakov's decision to send angels to Esav was a multifaceted act imbued with deep significance, reflecting the passing and burial of Rachel Imeinu, a testament to eternal legacy and maternal compassion. The poignant narrative of Rachel Imeinu, as recounted in the book of Bereshit, serves as a profound reflection on motherhood, sacrifice, and the unyielding bond between a mother and her children. And Rachel died, and they buried her on the way to Ephrasa in Beis Lechem. And Yaakov erected a monument over her gravesite. It is the monument of Rachel's gravesite to this day. This passage resonates through the ages, not merely as a historical account, but as a living testament to the enduring legacy of a matriarch whose essence remains inseparable from the Jewish narrative. The significance of the monument. The text draws our attention to a profound and noteworthy detail. It does not state merely that it is the monument of Rachel, but rather it is the monument of Rachel's gravesite. This distinction is critical. It highlights the belief that tzaddikim do not require physical monuments to immortalize their presence. Instead, their words, their actions, and the legacies they forged during their lifetimes serve as their true monuments. Rachel's life and her prayers for her children transcend the constraints of time and space, casting a long shadow over the collective memory of her descendants. Yaakov's choice to erect a monument at Rachel's grave reveals profound foresight and deep spiritual intuition. He recognized that this physical marker would serve a dual purpose. It would commemorate Rachel's life and legacy while simultaneously providing a point of connection for future generations. The monument would stand as an eternal reminder of the trials faced by Rachel and her family, a beacon of hope for those who would one day traverse the path of exile. Rachel's weeping, the voice of maternal love. The necessity of a physical marker at Rachel's grave can be understood through the lens of future generations. Yaakov, in his profound wisdom, recognized the significance of this site for the Jewish people, especially in times of exile. It was revealed to him that there would be a time when the Jews would be forced into exile by the despot Nebuzaradan, and they would have to walk from Israel to Babylonia as captives. As they traversed this path, they would pass by the site of Rachel's grave. It was during this sorrowful journey that Rachel would weep for her children, beseeching the Almighty for mercy and deliverance. The notion of Rachel weeping for her children is a powerful image that resonates deeply within the Jewish consciousness. It evokes the profound maternal instinct to protect and nurture even in the face of insurmountable challenges. As the Jewish people faced the harsh realities of exile, Rachel's tears became a source of comfort and intercession. Her weeping is not merely a reflection of sorrow. It embodies hope, resilience, and the unwavering bond between a mother and her children. This moment of recognition transformed the gravesite into a sanctuary of hope, a place where the cries of a mother resonate through the ages, beckoning her children back to their homeland. Rachel's maternal compassion extends beyond her own lineage. It encompasses the entire Jewish people, providing solace and strength to all who seek her intercession. The symbolism of Beis Lechem, the concept of Beis Lechem, often translated as the house of bread, also embodies a deeper meaning, one that reflects the spiritual sustenance Rachel provides to her afflicted children. In their darkest hours, it is Rachel's voice that rises above the lamentations, advocating for compassion and redemption. The prophetic words of Jeremiah echo this sentiment. A voice is heard in Ramah, lamentations and bitter weeping. It is Rachel weeping for her children. There is yet hope that in the end the children will return to their borders. Rachel's tears are not merely for sorrow. they are imbued with the hope of eventual restoration, underscoring her role as a maternal figure who embodies both pain and resilience. Through the lens of Jewish tradition, Beis Leshem also signifies the birthplace of King David, and by extension the messianic hope that he embodies. This connection adds another layer of significance to Rachel's burial site, positioning it as not just a place of mourning, but also one of anticipation and faith in the eventual redemption of the Jewish people. Rachel in her weeping serves as a conduit between the past and the future, linking her descendants to a promise of restoration and renewal. The ritual of stones. The act of placing stones upon Rachel's grave, a custom that traces its roots back to Yaakov and the 12 tribes, symbolizes the collective memory and enduring connection that Jews maintain with their matriarch. Each stone represents a prayer, a wish, and a piece of the heart of the one who lays it down. This ritual of honoring the deceased reinforces the notion that even in death, Rachel continues to nurture and protect her children through the prayers offered at her gravesite. This practice serves to remind us that the act of remembering is not solely an individual endeavor, it is a communal one. By placing stones on Rachel's grave, the Jewish people collectively acknowledge their shared history and the sacrifices made by their ancestors. Each stone becomes a testament to the enduring legacy of Rachel, a manifestation of love and devotion that transcends generations. A sanctuary of hope, the tomb of Rachel, as destination of pilgrimage for countless generations, stands as a beacon of hope for those burdened by sorrow and despair. In the aftermath of World War II, it became a refuge for countless women yearning for solace and connection in their grief. The words of an elderly resident of Mea Shearim capture the essence of this pilgrimage. To whom could we cry, and to whom could we tell our sorrows if not to a mother? The longing for maternal comfort transcends time, and Rachel, as a symbol of motherhood, provides a sanctuary for the broken-hearted. In the wake of immense loss and suffering, Rachel's tomb became a space where the anguished could pour forth their hearts. Women would travel to Kever Rachel, seeking comfort in the embrace of their matriarch. They would recite psalms, recalling her love and devotion, and in those moments they found solace and understanding. Rachel, who died in childbirth, epitomizes the struggles faced by the matriarchs, all of whom were barren and had to pray to Hashem for children. Their journeys were marked by tears, prayers, and unwavering faith, ultimately leading to the formation of the Jewish nation. The eternal connection, Rachel's narrative, marked by her own experiences of barrenness and struggle, resonates deeply within the broader context of Jewish history. She, like the other matriarchs, exemplifies the power of prayer and the profound connection that exists between the divine and the righteous. The miraculous births of the patriarchs and matriarchs were not merely physical events. They were spiritual milestones that underscore the significance of prayer in the fabric of Jewish identity. A real Jewish mother, the legacy of Rachel Imenu and the essence of maternal love. In the rich tapestry of Jewish history, the narrative of Rachel Imenu, the beloved matriarch of the Jewish people, stands as a beacon of maternal love and spiritual depth. This tale, as recounted by Rebbeinu Brizel, a venerable fifth-generation Yerushalmi, transports us to a time nearly a century ago where the sacredness of holy sites intersected with the everyday struggles of life. The encounter between the illustrious Rabbi David Biederman and an unnamed woman with her children at Rachel's tomb serves as a profound exploration of the essence of motherhood within the Jewish tradition, a tradition that values nurturing, compassion, and community. Rabbi David Biederman was a revered figure in the old Jewish settlement of Jerusalem, a tzaddik among tzaddikim whose every action was steeped in the pursuit of divine favor. His life was marked by an unwavering commitment to the spiritual elevation of himself and those around him. When he undertook the arduous journey from Jerusalem to Rachel's tomb, he did so not merely as a pilgrimage, but as a quest for deeper understanding and connection with the divine. This trek, fraught with physical hardship, was undertaken with the intention of prayer and supplication, a sacred journey where he hoped to commune with the spirit of Rachel, the matriarch who wept for her children. As Rabbi David approached the hallowed site, he was met with a scene that challenged his preconceived notions of holiness. An unnamed woman, seemingly unrefined in her demeanor, was busily attending to her children amidst the sacred grounds. She had spread out a blanket, laid her youngest child down to sleep, and was preparing a meal. The juxtaposition of her mundane activities against the backdrop of such a revered location struck Rabbi Dovid as incongruous. Does she not understand the sanctity of this place? He must have wondered. How can she dare to engage in such commonplace matters here at the tomb of our mother Rachel? With righteous indignation, Rabbi Dovid approached the woman, demanding an explanation for her actions. Yet as he spoke, he encountered a profound wisdom that belied her apparent simplicity. The woman looked up at him, unperturbed, and responded with a gentle conviction, "I would think that our mother Rachel would be pleased that we are eating and resting here." In that simple statement, a torrent of understanding washed over Rabbi Dovid. He felt a sudden faintness, a wave of humility, as he realized that, despite his years of devotion and pilgrimage, he had not truly grasped the essence of what Rachel's tomb represented. Rachel, the matriarch who wept for her children, was not merely a symbol of sorrow but an embodiment of compassion and nurturing spirit. Her legacy transcended the rigid confines of spiritual orthodoxy. In that moment, Rabbi Dovid came to understand that Rachel's desire was not for solemnity, but for her children to find solace, nourishment, and peace amidst their struggles. She longed for them to experience comfort in life so that they could better serve Hashem. Recognizing that the true holiness of Rachel's tomb lay not only in prayer and supplication, but also in the warmth of human connection, Rabbi Dovid's perception of spirituality transformed. This encounter serves as a poignant reminder that true holiness is not confined to austere rituals or lofty theological discourse. Instead, it finds its vibrancy in the mundane acts of love, comfort, and sustenance that come from the heart. The woman's instinct to care for her children within the sacred space was a powerful embodiment of Rachel's spirit, a spirit that yearns for her children to find hope and relief in their lives. Her actions were not a desecration of the sacred, but rather an elevation of it. A real Jewish mother understands that the physical and the spiritual are inextricably linked. One's relationship with the divine is enriched through the nurturing of the body, mind, and spirit. Rabbi Dovid's transformation in this moment is a reflection of a broader truth about the essence of Jewish motherhood. The archetype of the Jewish mother is not merely a stereotype, but a celebration of the nurturing spirit that upholds the fabric of the Jewish people. Through their tireless devotion, these women instill values, impart wisdom, and create environments where faith and community can flourish. They are the architects of resilience, embodying the strength of Rachel as they navigate the challenges of life while fostering a deep-seated connection to tradition and spirituality. From that day forth, Rabbi Dovid Biederman altered his approach to his pilgrimages to Rachel's tomb. No longer would he view it merely as a site for prayer, but rather as a communal gathering place where the spirit of Rachel could be honored through acts of care and love. He began to bring meals for himself and others, inviting them to partake in the nourishment that echoes the maternal instinct. By sharing food, he transformed the sacred site to a communal hub of connection and shared experience. This act of sharing not only honored Rachel's memory, but also embraced the communal spirit that is central to Jewish life, emphasizing that spirituality is best expressed through action and connection with others. This story teaches us that within the rich narrative of Jewish history, the lessons imparted by our matriarchs remain as relevant today as they were in ancient times. The values of nurturing, compassion, and community are not mere relics of the past. They are vital components of our identity as Jews and as human beings. The encounter between Rabbi Dovid and the woman at Rachel's tomb serves as a reminder that the holy is often found in the most unexpected places, in the shared meals, the laughter of children, and the simple acts of kindness that bind us together. As we reflect on this timeless narrative, let us carry forward the lesson of Rachel, that in nurturing our families and communities, we are indeed fulfilling the highest calling of our spiritual heritage. A real Jewish mother embodies the spirit of Rachel Imenu, reminding us that true holiness lies in the recognition of our shared humanity and the nurturing bonds that unite us. In a world that often prioritizes the extraordinary, let us remember that the sacred can be found in our everyday lives, in the love we extend to one another, and in the shared journeys we undertake together. In doing so, we honor the legacy of Rachel and the countless mothers who have come before us, ensuring that their spirit continues to thrive in our hearts and communities for generations to come. In Gid We Trust Miketz, a profound exploration of faith and divine providence, the narrative surrounding Yosef, especially within the framework of Parashat Miketz, serves as a compelling exploration of the intricate relationship between human experience and divine intervention. This rich tapestry of faith, trials, and ultimate triumph is not merely a story. It is a profound lesson that resonates through the ages. At its core lies the opening verses, "And the wine steward did not remember Yosef, he forgot about him," which encapsulates a pivotal moment in Yosef's life, illustrating the complexities of human frailty and the overarching theme of divine providence. To fully appreciate the intricacies of this narrative, one must first understand the duality inherent in Yosef's character. He is celebrated for his unwavering trust in Hashem, yet he is simultaneously portrayed as having faltered in his reliance upon the wine steward. This juxtaposition raises significant questions about the nature of faith. Why does the Midrash choose this particular moment to exalt Yosef's trust, especially when it is punctuated by a lapse in faith? Moreover, why does the narrative emphasize that the steward did not remember, and then redundantly state that he forgot Yosef? These inquiries prompt us to delve deeper into the themes of faith, reliance, and divine timing that permeate this story. The esteemed commentator Rashi provides clarity on this point, suggesting that Yosef's reliance on the steward's memory resulted in an additional 2 years of unjust confinement. This highlights the consequences of misplaced trust and the need for a deeper understanding of divine timing in our lives. At first glance, it may appear that Yosef's plea to the wine steward was a simple request for assistance. However, this moment becomes a turning point that underscores the complexities of faith, trust, and the sometimes painful process of waiting for divine intervention. The Kopishnitzer Rebbe, drawing upon the wisdom of the Baal Shem Tov, offers a compelling explanation that sheds light on the depth of this narrative. He recounts the story of a man entrenched in poverty yet fortified by an unwavering trust in God. This individual, despite his dire circumstances, consistently rebuffed assistance from the local tzedakah committee, believing firmly that Hashem's providence would sustain him. His faith was so resolute that he would not accept charity or any form of aid, even when desperate situations arose. However, as Pesach approached, the burden of his financial obligations became overwhelming, leading him to contemplate accepting charity for the first time in his life. This moment of vulnerability sparked profound regret within him. How could he, a man of faith, allow himself to weaken his trust in Hashem? In his distress, he fervently prayed that the tzedakah committee would forget his request, echoing Yosef's own internal struggle when he beseeched the wine steward to remember him. Through this lens, we begin to see that both the man and Yosef experienced a momentary lapse in human faith, a fleeting instinctual reaction to seek help from the tangible world rather than the unseen hand of God. Yet the beauty of the narrative lies not in their failures, but in their eventual return to a state of complete reliance on the divine. When the steward did not remember and forgot Yosef, it was a manifestation of God's will, a divine orchestration that would ultimately lead to Yosef's elevation and the fulfillment of his destiny. This emphasizes that even in moments of human weakness, there exists an underlying thread of divine purpose that guides the faithful. As we contemplate the themes embodied in Yosef's experience, we are reminded of their relevance in our contemporary context. In a world filled with uncertainty, chaos, and ever-shifting circumstances, it is all too easy to succumb to the allure of worldly assurances. We may find ourselves seeking solace in the opinions of politicians, the commentary of experts, or the fleeting comforts of material wealth. Yet, as the Rebbe elucidates, our true anchor must lie in our unwavering trust in Hashem. The refrain Hashem Hu Elokim serves as a stark reminder that while human channels may falter and disappoint, God's mercy and kindness reign supreme, governing the affairs of the world and all its inhabitants. In the face of adversity, the narratives of Ar Zusha of Anipoli emerge as profound inspirations for the faithful. Ar Zusha, confronted with insurmountable debt and the impending deadline for repayment, exemplifies the quintessence of trust in God. Rather than succumbing to despair or becoming consumed by worry, he actively engaged his faith by listing 25 different potential scenarios through which divine assistance could manifest. The evening passed, and Ar Zusha, in his unwavering faith, gave the situation no further thought. The next morning, as he completed his morning prayers, the required sum materialized in a manner that he had not even contemplated, through a 26 scenario entirely beyond his imagination. His lamentation, "Is the creator of the world limited to the feeble ideas of Ar Zusha?" resonates deeply, challenging each of us to recognize our limitations in comprehending the vastness of divine intervention. As we delve deeper into the teachings of Miketz, we are beckoned to cultivate a steadfast faith, one that recognizes the importance of divine timing and the unfolding of God's plan, often beyond our comprehension. The lessons of Yosef remind us that trust in God does not equate to passivity. Rather, it calls for active engagement in our spiritual practice, even amidst uncertainty. We are encouraged to turn our focus inward, tuning into the spiritual texts that uplift and fortify our trust in Hashem, such as the Book of Psalms or the weekly Parasha, rather than allowing ourselves to be distracted by the clamor of the world around us. Moreover, the story of Yosef and the wine steward serves as a powerful reminder of the nature of human relationships and the inherent limitations within them. The steward, despite his initial promise to remember Yosef, ultimately failed to do so, illustrating that even the most well-intentioned individuals can forget or neglect their commitments. In contrast, God's promises are eternal and unyielding. This juxtaposition invites us to reflect on the relationships we cultivate in our own lives, and the importance of grounding them in faith, compassion, and a shared understanding of divine purpose. As we navigate the complexities of our lives, we are called to embrace the lessons found within the story of Yosef. Each of us faces moments of doubt, challenges that test our faith, and circumstances that evoke a desire for immediate relief. Yet the narratives of faith exemplified by Yosef and Ar Zusha remind us that these trials serve a greater purpose, sculpting our character and deepening our connection to the divine. Our path may be fraught with obstacles, but it is during these times that our faith is both tested and fortified. In our pursuit of spiritual growth, we must also recognize the broader implications of Yosef's journey for the Jewish people as a whole. The trials he faced were not merely personal struggles, but rather foreshadowed the collective journey of the Jewish nation throughout history.